Hey guys, so I'm sitting here and I've been reading up on the most current information about the Delphi murders trial. And have you guys read any of this stuff? I just went through about 88 papers, and some of it was repeat, but some of it was very interesting to read. And once you start diving deep into this stuff, wow, you just start sinking. You really go down the rabbit hole, let's say that. For those who are unaware of what the Delphi murders is, it's the killings of Libby German, who was 14 years old, and Abigail Williams, who was 13. They were best friends. And this is in a small town called Delphi, Indiana. This happened in 2017. They were just two young girls. It was February the 13th. They had a day off from school, and they wanted to go to this nature trail park, and it was this like really high, cool old bridge, the Monon Bridge. I mean, it's a weird name. And it was kind of an iconic bridge, and they wanted to walk across it. And from what I think I remember, Libby had been across it before, but Abby hadn't. So they decided to go there, and they got dropped off, and then they were supposed to get picked up a couple hours later, and they didn't show up for their pickup. And that's when their family started looking for them. And they were found the next day, deceased in the woods near the creek under the bridge. And there's been a lot of evidence and things. If you've heard anything about it, you've probably heard the guys down the hill. That came from a recording that Libby had the presence of mind of recording it on her phone and captured most likely the killer's voice. Now, there has been a man that was arrested for this. The accused killer is Richard Allen. He was working at, living in the town, had not moved away, he stayed right there, and he was working at CVS. He had been there for years, he'd been married a long time. He was really, in a way, under the radar, but he had approached and told some authorities that he was out on the trail that day. He was kind of ID'd by some of the teenage girls that were on the trail. They described clothes that the police believe he was wearing, and that he said, the timeline fits the frame of when the murders occurred. So, anyhow, that's just the tidbit. That's just the tip. That's just the top of the case. That's just a little bit. When you start getting, that's just the little appetizer of what this entails. It's so much. And there's talk about Odinism, O-D-I-N. It would be like, Odin was a Norse god. And, pagans worship, as some, I guess, Odin still, and there's runes, and it's kind of like sorcery kind of things. And I don't know all about it, but there's been talk that might have been part of the murder, because they did say that there were signatures. Yeah. So, anyways, they've moved the trial. They've moved it. They were supposed to have it this month, and they've moved it. It's no longer going to be this month. It's supposedly going to happen October of this month. Now, if that happens, I don't know. But there is a hearing. There's going to be a hearing January 18th of this month. January 18th of this year, whatever. And that's going to be because Richard Allen's public defenders were withdrawn from the case back in November. Judge Gull, Gull, she announced that they were gone, and he was going to have new attorneys. He wants a hearing to reinstate his old attorneys, and they want Judge Gull, they want her all out of here. They want her off the case. So, we'll see. I haven't even talked about Richard Allen, that part. he's been held majority of this time not in a jail where normally you would be held when you're standing trial, like you haven't had a trial yet, you're still accused. You'd be held like in jail, right? But he's been in prison, like real prison, the whole time. And he's been doing odd behavior, like eating his own court paperwork, like eating it. And he broke the tablet that they had gave him to make his calls on. And supposedly, I mean, it's in the documents, he's confessed a few times, and he didn't confess to, like, police officers or a jailhouse informant or something like that. He confessed to his wife and his mother on phone calls, I think. So, I don't know. We'll see.